guys? You are live in 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 5, Crossfire. Shoot on back.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to... This is where we have such an exciting episode to talk about, and I can't talk about it alone, so I will be joined by my favorite panel, Stephanie Wenger.
Hi guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stephanie Wenger.
Lex Michael.
Hello, I am all over social media at the Lex Michael.
Lacretia Lyon.
Hey guys, I'm Lacretia Lyon. Since there's only one, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet.
Awesome. And as you know, I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J, TAURI-JAY. Don't we talk about the episode? Yeah, smooth transition. Speaking of smooth transitions, Mon-El's not having a great transition into normal Earthling life.
You just did it twice.
Hell yeah.
Dang.
I know, girl.
Dang. Mad skills, mad skills.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, I liked the I liked him kind of figuring out what he's gonna wear. I liked his whole bit in Catco. I mean, did you guys think that he would ever be a good Earthling right off the bat?
No, he was too adorable.
That was the problem as I saw it as well.
Of course.
This man is far too adorable to be from this planet. I would see through it immediately.
Yeah.
It's true. It's the big eyes give it away.
Yeah, exactly.
Big adorable eyes. But yeah, I mean, he's essentially living Kara's life. She's kind of pushing him into that. And on his first day, he shirks all of his responsibility.
Yes.
Has sex in the copy room.
Eats a bunch of candy.
He was a good
Eats a bunch of
Earthling.
candy.
This
Yes.
poor assistant though, like she does all his work, then he's like, let's hook up. Like it's just like this ongoing. She like does everything for him.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
pretty much an American male.
Hey.
Now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
odd, eventful day at the office for Eve Tessmacher.
Yes.
For sure.
I love that she fell for him immediately.
Yeah.
She was so cute. It was like a first grade crush. She was like, oh, hi. Like, and you could just immediately tell, and great job by the actress as well doing that, because to do that in the first 10 seconds you're on screen and you know exactly where she's at is impressive.
Yeah, it's that outfit, that very, old school Earth 2 Barry Allen, the bow tie and the glasses and the little sweater. And he really does have that superpower of making women fall for him immediately. I love that line. He's like, oh, I think I have a new power.
He is so charming on the show, and I mean that's part of it is that he comes in and like steals scenes from people, which is great. I mean that it's fun to see that happen.
Yeah.
Too charming. Inhumanly charming.
I like that you're like annoyed.
No, just excessive amounts of charm just emanating from the screen at all times. It's too much. It's too much charm and too many good feelings. I don't know where to put them all.
Yeah?
I don't know. It's
I
too
put 'em
much
on
goodness
Twitter.
for one person to contain.
That was pretty much all my Twitter during the live tweeting. That's where I put my thoughts.
Do you think he'll stay good?
In what sense? Oh, do you mean? I just mean he's very surface level, aesthetically pleasing. Do I think he'll stay like his?
I'm like, you are very surface level, aesthetically pleasing.
No, I just thought you
Look
meant
at
like
those Lex Michael pickup lines.
No, it's like, hey, person, you are there.
yeah.
I like it.
Symmetrical features.
I'm here, you're here. It's gonna go great.
Universal synchronicity is beautiful. So no, I just mean he's incredibly charming. But as far as his alignment, I have no idea. It's interesting. He's got a very different moral compass, I think, and that's not to say that he's not a nice person. He seems to be very nice. He's just not bound by the rules and moral strictures of a human society the way Kara is, having grown up in it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't that he was a bad guy in any of tonight's
No, not
episode.
at all.
I felt like it was just like he didn't understand like the social norms of at least America and the way like you function in an office, and he was like learning everything, which made for a super fun episode. I
Yes.
felt like fish out of water is always a fun place to be on this kind of show.
Yeah. Oh,
I want to know, because we saw him try a couple different outfits that were varying sizes. I want to know where the clothing was coming from. When he put on the suit that was too small, at first I thought, is that maybe Wynn's? Like they borrowed it from Wynn and that's why it doesn't quite fit him. But then he comes out in that giant shirt and I'm like, maybe they borrowed it from James
Jimmy,
Olsen.
yeah.
But I'm going like, this would probably be a tent on him. So whose shirt is this?
Could it have been like people in the DEO? Like,
Maybe it's like Hank Henshaw's shirt.
I don't
maybe.
know. Like, that's what I thought. Was like, you make a great point, and I definitely was like, oh, it can't be, because he met Jimmy kind of in the office, and I was like, it really wouldn't be his shirt. So whose shirt is this? And I was like, maybe like employees of the DEO, but it's not Alex. Like, who are we? I had the same thought. Where are these clothes?
It's probably it's got to be Jean's shirt, and he doesn't wear it because he's only ever wearing black, or he's in his like Martian getup.
Yeah.
And he's
Right.
like, I have no use for this oversized plaid thing. Here you go.
And I think when we were watching the show, we talked about that Mon-El being like kind of hipstery, but like from another planet, and that was definitely his like vibe and style. Definitely was that tonight. It was like hipster, but not quite hipster, just like right in that sweet spot.
Yes.
Because if he was a hipster, I wouldn't like him, and he wouldn't be adorable.
But he's just so adorable that I think at worst you'd break even.
That's
true.
And chat, if you guys can figure out where the shirt came from, this is really, a perplexing panel here. We would
yes.
love to know.
We asked the hard question.
We need
Yeah,
to,
the hard-hitting
determine the
ones.
canonicity of the origin of this shirt.
Yeah.
We like to look at the emotions of the characters, but also their clothing. Let's be real.
And being that ultimately that wasn't the shirt that he wore, where is it now?
I'm sure it's I'm sure it's harnessing wind to move a ship.
Maybe Jeremy's clothes, Hank shirt when he shapeshifted into a 350-pound man.
That's actually a good point. So,
yeah.
but so we saw Hank. When Hank shapeshifts, it seems like he can shapeshift outfits as
Yeah.
well. But maybe he needs. Maybe like he can shapeshift and he has that just in case. Like maybe he's got like a big wardrobe full of different outfits, like different sizes, different like male female clothing, just in case he shapeshifts and doesn't have the appropriate clothing in his metamorphosis. He can then throw it on. He's got like a disguise closet. I like this. Where is the John Jones Private Detective series? CW.
Yeah, that
I'm sure
needs to be
it's
a
in the
spin-off.
works. I'm sure the producers are working on it right now.
Yeah, Joey Segura says, also, where the hell was John? I was expecting him to impersonate Supergirl again. Well, he was working on that closet.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
He was. He was like, he saw it, he lent them out the big tent shirt, and then went back and was like, I gotta clean this up. There's so many clothing items I don't need. I only wear black.
Well, it obviously didn't come from Jimmy, but you know what also didn't come from Jimmy?
What did
A good beatdown did not come from Jimmy.
No, he received one.
Yes, he did. While these bank robbers were trying to get their cash on, as one would say, he and Supergirl try to stop them, and Jimmy gets beat up, which he was I forgot that he had a black belt, so it was surprising that he was able to hold his own for a while, which was nice. But overall, they were better than him. And
better than him.
Supergirl in terms of weaponry.
Well, they have these crazy alien guns.
Right.
Yeah, because the Second Amendment entitles you to ray guns as well.
Yeah, it's in the Constitution, guys.
Oh boy, there's just so much to unpack there, but we will not. We will not. That's not this
over
show.
that.
I was
We
gonna
talk
say,
about
Are you
clothes.
sure, though?
There's
Bye,
that.
Dad.
Hey, there's that graveyard, and I'm a whistling past it.
Kind of shallow Supergirl.
Yep.
We care about clothes, not politics.
Yeah. So I like that this spawns him being Jimmy. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but please vote tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
It's really important.
Anyways, sorry to interrupt, but I felt like without scooching past that, but also vote.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you're not planning on becoming a vigilante anytime soon, then let your voice be heard by voting. Yes!
A ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one for our democratic process. I think.
And then I get a green hood for the Arrow panel on Wednesday.
So I love that basically him losing his last piece of his father sparked him into feeling like he needed to make a difference, and the only way he felt that he could do it was with his fists and things.
Which I'm of two minds on this, because on the one hand, I completely understand his point of view. He spent so many years hanging out with Superman, and I'm sure that's got to be incredibly inspiring to stand next to that guy and to want to make a difference, but then to see, you know, I'm also not Superman. I can't do exactly what he can do. I get where he's coming from.
Yeah, I also thought it was a really interesting thing, because I think that, like, jealousy amongst groups of friends happens in real life on planet Earth without all these superpowers, and it's taking it to the umpteenth degree for him. There is like a jealousy there because he's surrounded by these people with these incredible powers, and I think any real human being would probably feel that to some degree.
Absolutely. I can totally sympathize, and I totally see his point of view. The part of it that maybe bums me out a little bit is, like, Wynn even points out that it's like, no, like, you actually, like, you can help people through, like, journalism with information, like giving people all of this really good, valuable truth. That's what you can do. And he's a little bit like, no. But
I want superpowers.
But like that's totally a thing he could do that not all of them can. In a way, that's his power in the moment. He's got the ability to disseminate actual good journalism.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking about is, one, you're absolutely correct. Journalism is a power into its own right, but there's so many ways to help in real, like, everyday humans can do. And, like, whether it's being a doctor, a nurse, there's so much you can do. And he's so narrowly focused on, like, I need these external forces to help me.
Right.
Where if he maybe looked internally, he could find something that he felt like he was helping.
What I would really love to see, actually, is for him to be forced to find a way to balance the two, because he's effectively running the company. He can't just stop running the company, especially if he does so immediately after this new vigilante hits the town. People are going to go, hey, wait a minute. But to see him try and do both, to try and be the guy who's running Catco and trying to make it the best possible ship it can be, and also doing this by night, almost as if like a young Perry White was also going out and fighting crime, that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially like you, Lori Perry White. That one's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that, like, I feel like, and this might be a very controversial statement, but I feel like his story parallels Laurel Lance's on Arrow, in that she was a DA. She had, or either an ADA or a DA. She was a lawyer who had the ability to actually bring justice, but she was essentially going to hit the streets no matter what, and so it was either help her or get out of her way.
Right.
And yeah, so this was. For those who don't know, who don't watch the other shows, Laurel Lance is a character on Arrow. She was the Black Canary. She had a while. She had a whole arc on that show.
Now she is a chocolate bunny statue.
Yes, she's a. That is that's a joke from another show.
Watch us on Wednesdays, guys.
But yeah, so she had a similar storyline, and I think that this is going to mirror that in a way, which I feel like is relatively fitting, because she, like James, it was surrounded by people who are doing something that affected, like, from the outside, looks like it is affecting change in a more immediate way.
Yeah, absolutely. There were a couple of times this episode watching James get further down the path towards making this decision for himself, where I was reminded of Arrow quite a bit, because most of the time we see these people actively going out and fighting the fight, they've got powers. The people who don't have powers usually are back at headquarters, like, you know, on comms or something like that. But was reminded a lot of Arrow because we have a precedent on these shows for people without powers, with just a good amount of training, sometimes not so much training, but a lot of spunk, really going out there and doing it. But then I also had to remind myself, Supergirl still taking place in its weird own, like, pocket dimension until they officially cross over further, so they in world don't have anybody like the Green Arrow or the Black Canary that they can look at and be like, oh, those guys are doing it. So in a way, I guess what James is doing is in their little pocket of the world a little bit unprecedented.
That's true.
Yeah, it's sort of the opposite of the Arrowverse, where you first had these masked vigilantes that are just regular people, and then you started getting superpowers. But yeah, it's interesting that you brought up Laurel, because before we even started, the chat was just doing the comparisons themselves, like everybody was talking about it.
Nice.
So yeah.
Harnessing the power of the chat. Spreading information like Jimmy's not doing anymore.
Yeah, and to me, you know, and it's because I was such a big fan of the Black Canary in the comics, it was an interesting way to go, but I almost felt that Laurel did more good as an ADA, and that Sarah was really more of the Black Canary, because it's not like they called either one of them Dinah either, so.
Right.
Except that one time Tommy did.
And it was cute.
Yeah.
And it was cute.
Yes. So,
Yeah, it's like, so maybe Jimmy should take now.
I mean, yes. And I like that Wynn realizes by the end that, like, he's going to get himself killed, so he might as well help him with this suit. In my mind, I would love it if Wynn had made this promise that he was going to make a suit, and he's like, you can't do anything until I give you the suit, and just never made the
Never
suit.
does
Yep.
it.
I would do that.
I also am really excited though, because in season 1 we had moments of like Wynn and Jimmy like having kind of, I hate to use the term bromance, but like a little bit of a friendship going on. And since he's been at the DEO, we haven't had as much friendship between the two of them. So I'm excited if this brings back that friendship component.
Crime busting buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the normal bros.
But I like it, and I like how for most of the episode, I think the argument could be made pretty effectively that by creating a suit, Wynn would in effect be enabling his friend to go out and risk his life repeatedly. But I think it does become clear past a certain point that no, he's gonna go do this no matter what. The best thing you can do in that case is to protect him.
Right.
Which I appreciated.
Yeah, I like what Ivan Soto says. Talk about how much of a cry of desperation this is about James becoming the Guardian panel. It's like, yeah.
Don't tell me what to talk about. I have my own opinions. Throw the pin. Goodbye, pin.
I do like what Wikipedia says. I just kind of wish that we'd gotten a bigger hint of him wanting to be a superhero. Like, you know, they could have made it fester a little bit longer before he did this.
I think
Maybe.
what's really
Yeah.
great on this season of Supergirl, what I'm really liking, is they're not letting anything fester. It's like within an episode, you're getting kind of the next thing you would expect. Like, we'll
Yes.
get into some of the relationship stuff in a little bit, but like, they did not have that linger at all. It was like, this is happening, and within, I think, an episode or two, we were like, Alex was moving like, they're really going quickly.
Yeah, we've talked a little bit about across all of these shows now, the entire CW/DC block, about how increasingly they seem more confident in moving through material quickly,
Yeah.
and they're not artificially dragging things out the way I think maybe 3-4 years ago certainly they would have been a lot more apt to do.
Yeah. I agree. And I like that essentially we get a little bit of his motivation in that he has always been looking for something. Like, he came to National City because he wanted to distance himself from Superman, and he started his job, and now he's Kat's replacement, but like, he's never really had a purpose, I think he's felt, and he expressed that. And so I like that, like, they didn't necessarily need him every episode up until now being like, oh, I feel so lost, but like, having expressed that with everything that's happened in the episode, I think it really worked out well.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would love to talk more about Cadmus and about Maggie and Alex, but before I do, I'd like to talk about iTunes for a second. Guys, we do this every week, and we love doing it. You can tell because of all the fun we're having, and we hope you're having fun. And all that we ask of you is that you go on iTunes and give us a review, leave us a comment, let us know what you like, how you like it. 5 stars if you love what we're doing, 4 stars if you don't. The other stars, I hear they don't work. That's what I hear.
Nope, all broken.
So 4 or 5. Those are your only options. JK, make your own choices. Let your voice be heard, etc. And if you're on YouTube, make sure that you hit that thumbs up. If you love what we're doing, leave us comments because we go on there. I'm sure we've replied to you at some point and been like, "Oh yeah, you're right," or "Oh yeah, that's great," because that's how we talk.
Lots of positivity.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So I mean that's all that we require of you. You don't have to pay any money for this podcast. You don't have to do anything except for show your support. And another thing that helps us keep the lights on here is wonderful sponsorships. Today's episode is brought to you by Heartless. I hear you have a little bit to say about it.
Yeah, so guys, check this out. Long before she was the terror of Wonderland, the Red Queen was just a girl who wanted to fall in love. Yes, even the blackest heart once beat red. In Marissa Meyer's Heartless, the New York Times best-selling author dazzles us with a prequel to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Gregory Maguire, author of Wicked, the best-selling Oz prequel that became a musical hit on Broadway, has this to say. In Heartless, the nonsense that is Wonderland gets a reverential makeover full of heart and its own idiosyncratic character. Critics are already losing their heads, calling this Marissa Meyer's best fantasy yet, an unforgettable story of the evolution of the Red Queen from a young girl who dreamed of true love and freedom to a madwoman best remembered for the phrase, "off with his head!" And calling Heartless Marissa Meyer's best yet is a big deal because she's already the author of the amazing #1 New York Times bestselling Lunar Chronicles, which BuzzFeed calls wonderfully addictive. One review says, if you only read one fractured fairy tale this year, make it Heartless. And even if you don't know the background, this story will still sweep you off your feet. Catherine is one of the most desired girls in Wonderland and a favorite of the unmarried King of Hearts. But she's an independent spirit with plans of her own, and when she falls in love with the handsome and mysterious court Joker, their secret relationship will transform the whole kingdom. Find out for yourself why Marissa Meyer's Heartless is stealing readers' hearts all across the country. Then you'll want to give it to a friend for the holidays. Start reading now. Visit heartlessbook.com.
Nice.
Dude, that sounds really good. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, on that.
I'm super excited to read that. That sounds amazing.
It's an insanely cool story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
And what else is amazing is apparently you guys, because we have an iTunes review.
Ooh.
Yeah. At Beatga, or Beatga, in case I'm not pronouncing that right, says, new digs Supergirl. Give this podcast a listen. I love it. The hosts are knowledgeable and entertaining. Keep it up.
Nice.
Thank
Guys,
you.
Yeah.
we know stuff.
Yeah.
We're cool.
Knowledgeable and entertaining. Normally, one only aspires to one or the other.
That's true.
And we got both.
Edutainment at its finest.
I feel good. My heart is warm.
Feels good on a Monday night.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit of Cadmus.
Cadmus, up to no good, as per usual.
Yes. They have this seedy plan of seeding the.
Really?
Yes, it's great. They're seeding the populace, or these criminals, with alien weapons in order to build fear of aliens to get the Amnesty Act overturned, which is really a smart plan because everyone knows that if you want people to do something, just invoke their fear.
No politics on this show at all.
Nope,
No.
not
Not a
all.
one. Not a single politic to be found. Nope.
Yep. Ah, man. Just some good old-fashioned comic book entertainment.
They've been, we've talked about it on this show week after week. They are bringing in these political and social messages, and they're doing it in such a creative and fun way. And I think that that's really impressive.
Especially, it's the best way to get somebody to hear a message is to give it to them in a way where they don't realize that's what is happening. So I agree wholeheartedly. You actually tell somebody something of importance, but you couch it in, look, aliens and lasers, and they're flying around. Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
And
then
it
we
goes down
learn
a lot
things.
easier.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, but though I feel like they stopped short of everyone chanting "Build a wall."
Yeah.
Well, it's early in the season.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we get this whole thing between Lady Cadmus, as we know her at this point.
Yes.
And the robbers, Miners Grew.
Chet Minor, yeah.
Yes. And
It's a great name.
it really
Chet
is.
Minor.
Chet Minor.
It is like a 1970s TV Private Eye.
You just anyway. I was gonna get into a bit. I was gonna start doing a bit. But yeah, I like this scene because it shows just how fearless and badass she is. They're trying to get better weapons from her.
Yes.
And she's essentially like she lays out her whole motivation. She's trying to protect her children from aliens because she sees them as a threat, and she'll do whatever it takes to get them essentially off the planet or get rid of them in some way, shape, or form. Because I mean, ultimately, through her experience and through what we've seen on the show, like, they have proven themselves to be somewhat dangerous, but not all of them.
Yeah, and as soon as she said it was for her children, I immediately knew who she was. And just kudos to Brenda Strong for playing this role, because I'm so used to seeing her, in much nicer, because I got to eat lunch with her when I was on Dallas. Wonderful lady. But yeah, I'm like, she is kicking it as Lady Cadmus.
Wasn't she also on Desperate Housewives?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like this is a really different role for her. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exciting.
she's killing it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yes.
It's like, she's scary. Just like Laura Benanti is Astra. I'm like, these powerhouse ladies I know from much nicer roles are just so cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're not, it's at the end of the episode, but we maybe don't want to bury the lead too far. Obviously, we get a little bit more insight into who Lady Cadmus is.
Yes.
But there's still some questions that I have.
What are your questions?
Well, so obviously we get the reveal at the end of the episode. Spoilers for this episode that we're talking about right now.
If you're watching it in parallel.
If you're
with the
watching this at
episode.
the same time, not a commentary, but a novel approach. And if you're watching this before, I think you missed the concept a little bit, but
Yes.
also sure, why not? Totally valid. But so she is revealed. Lady Cadmus is revealed as Lena Luthor's mother.
Yes.
But it's not clear to me because we know Lena was adopted, correct? So is this her birth mother, or is this supposed to be Letitia Luthor, not to be confused with Lacretia Lyon, of course?
Pretty close.
But we don't. I'm assuming we'll get that question answered pretty soon. And she referred to her children plural, so that does lead me to think that maybe she's the parent of both Luthor siblings.
Correct.
But that's still in the air.
And
That
she did
was my
say, yeah.
immediate thought, was that it was both the siblings, not just Lena. But yeah, you're right. It could go either way.
Yeah, and she did say her daughter and son, and she's just too evil not to be a Luthor.
Right.
Those are mine.
And she was really touting. Yep, I'm going to use that word. She was touting the Luthors really high. She was basically kind of bragging about how dangerous and I guess cutthroat they are.
Yeah, and my assumption is ultimately she will be revealed to be the mother of both of them, but also, too, her agenda seems to be very much in line with Lex Luthor's, so it could just be like, hey, that guy knows what's up. I really like that guy. He's super smart. I'm going to do that, because I think that guy's super smart and great.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
Davey-
she's probably mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Davey Elmer actually says that Andrew Kreisberg has confirmed Brenda Strong's character is Lillian Luthor.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I liked Letitia better because that just sounded like my name.
It's true. I mean, you could change your name to Letitia.
Yeah, but then there wouldn't be one.
It could be like Letitia Lacretia Lyon.
I think that'll
Luther.
work. I'll just get rid of Daniel.
Letitia Lucretia. Yeah. Letitia Lucretia. Anyways.
Hashtag Letitia Lacretia Lyon Luthor. Anyway.
Yes. So we get this moment while the bandits, the minor bandits, are attacking the gala, where Lena set a trap for them, which was cool, and then her and Wynn figure it out together.
Yes.
And so I've named their ship
Okay.
Weena.
Weena.
Yeah.
They were pretty adorable. I was like,
Hashtag Weena.
Weena.
I don't know if that's gonna stick. We're gonna have to if you can come up with a better ship name, let us know. But for today,
I'm sure Lynn is gonna be the ship name, but I like mine.
Weena. You like your
I
Weena.
like my Weena.
Well, if you don't want Tauri's Weena to stick, you tweet us better ship names with a hashtag.
I don't think there are any better ship names.
Weena.
I feel
Malina.
like we have such a creative audience. I feel like Weena can be this week's name,
Yeah.
but
Maybe.
in the future we'll look at other names.
Okay.
Weena just provides endless puns.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go the best punny route.
Okay. Fine. Well, if we're talking about ships, we might as well talk about Maggie and Alex.
Yeah.
Hashtag Malix.
Malix.
This was such a fast move from like breakup with Maggie. I guess Maggie's girlfriend broke up with her.
Yes.
And into like Alex realizing that she like it was just a fast moving ship, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
And it's not like they consummated anything. It was, you know, I think you're right, but it's sort of like let's be friends right now, you know.
I love the
explore.
direction it's going. I think it's really exciting.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was
You really
really
enjoyed
digging
that.
that pun.
That's
Yeah.
let's
I
be friends.
loved that pun.
Yeah.
Of course you
That's
would.
why you got to go with the most punny things possible.
Yes.
I feel like okay.
But no, I'm with you completely, and I like to it backfilled a little bit of information on Alex, and that we find out that she always had a difficult time dating because when it came to being intimate, it just wasn't for her, and she was never quite sure why that was. And of course, now she's starting to suspect, well, maybe it's because of this reason. And I like too that she's coming to that realization, and it seems like she's okay coming to that realization, but it's also a big moment for her and a big thing to realize and acknowledge. So I appreciate that we're not drawing it out artificially, but that they're also not barreling through it.
I agree with you. She has told so far Maggie, like, we still have to see her tell her sister and her coworkers and all these people, the important people in her life, and I think that that's going to be in the episodes to come. And those are all, she's amazing as an actress, and it's great. Her scenes are so strong in doing this. Like, I thought tonight she did a phenomenal job, and I'm interested to see.
Yes, like, and there were a number of times where Alex would be there'd be in a scene like when she's at the DEO with Win, and all of a sudden she's just in a reverie talking about Maggie, and it's a scene that the scene is totally fine, but almost conceptually it's the type of thing that ordinarily would make me groan a little bit. So just distressingly cute.
Yeah.
I know. I like
Yeah,
that
I
because,
agree.
you know, Alex doesn't normally get, like she said, she's always wanting to be perfect, always wanting to do the best things. You don't really get to see so many fun scenes. And at least, you know, that was just so cute to hear, like, you know, really talking about Maggie. Like, you know, she was giddy.
It's like really cute.
And they're
yeah.
already, like,
really cute.
yeah, they're already giving her them names. Hashtag Sandvers or hashtag Aggie. I like Aggie.
Aggie's cute.
Aggie's super cute. It's like treacly, you know what I mean? Like, it's so like sticky, sweet, sugary.
Yeah.
And then we can be like, Giga Maggie.
We're
all right.
clearly all fans of this.
We really
I
are.
do. I'm not, as I've established on more than one occasion, on more than one show, I'm not usually a shipper. I ship the hell out of this.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as Rip and Jonah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Not quite, though.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
that's
the
the
best.
biggest ship in the fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all these ships can use that giant shirt to move them forward. So we're running short on time. So I want to do a really quick news and gossip.
Yes.
Just the quickest news and gossip. We have a there it was. We got a announcement that we're gonna have Cyborg Superman.
Yes.
Which is really interesting because
yeah.
traditionally Hank Henshaw
Is
was
Cyborg Superman.
but it's going to be someone else. So they haven't announced who it is yet. They just announced that it exists and we're getting it in a few episodes. It's a very small bit of information. I forget the exact name of the episode. I'll tweet it out for everyone. But yeah.
Episode 211. Hey guys, Cyborg Superman is here now. Have fun.
They're still running the title through marketing.
Ivan Soto says maybe Kara and Alex's father is Cyber Superman. I mean, he was Superman.
Wow.
Yes, that's true.
Not a bad call, actually.
No.
That would be really interesting.
I was like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I have a prediction based on that. So I think I'm gonna move us into predictions, guys.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Make a leap.
Boop,
Make a
boop,
leap.
boop, boop,
Doop.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Yeah. So, I'll start because I made a thing.
Yes.
I don't know. I was like, everyone's looking at me. What?
I think that Mon-El is going to end up being Cyborg Superman, and it's going to be probably the darkest episode we've ever gotten, because it'll be like if you took a Cybermen storyline and attached it to Supergirl. That's my prediction. It's probably
Interesting.
never going to come true.
Well, Davey Elmer in the chat says the title is The Darkest Place, and it's episode 207.
Yay, there we go.
I want Mon-El to be Superboy and get the jacket. And
What?
go, "Hey."
So you basically want him to be powered Fonzie.
Yep.
I would actually watch that show.
That
I would
more
too.
Fun.
Yeah.
And I kind of see chemistry between Alina and Supergirl. It's not as apparent when she's Kara.
Right.
But I mean, I know they wouldn't have too, you know how they feel about having too many lesbians on the show. But yeah, I think we were on the same page with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were too cute. I at least don't want Lena to be evil now. I want them to be friends.
Yeah.
I feel like her next, not Kara, Supergirl,
No.
her next romantic relationship is going to be Mon-El at this point.
yeah.
Like they're steamrolling that train right there.
I don't disagree. Like, I see that as well, and that's I like them both. They are both so, as I've mentioned more than once in this conversation, just so insanely charming. But I don't ship that quite so hard.
I think it'll be really cute because he's, again, that fish out of water, and if she can, like, teach him, and she's, like, figuring out how to be a mentor, and if you add that romantic relationship in, that's going to be a really intriguing place to be.
Yeah, it definitely is ripe for a ton of drama, but that's exactly why, because she's supposed to be filling this mentor role, why I don't really want to see that happen as much. I will accept it because they are just so charming, just so pretty, the both of them.
As long as he gets naked, it's like, all right. I'll ship you with James. I don't care.
It's too much pretty for one room.
Yeah.
So, just real quick, any predictions for the next week's episode?
I mean, we have a major villain coming
yes.
So is that Parasite is what I thought when I saw the promo, and I haven't read any news. I bet I could go online right this second, or somebody in the chat could be like, "That's not Parasite, dummy."
Right.
But thought maybe could be.
It seems like it would be Parasite, because they do make mention that he is absorbing energy. The only thing that makes it feel non-Parasite is that he turns into a monster.
He doesn't look quite Parasite-y. Exact. Parasite normally, like we're talking about in like on the Bruce Timm animated series, is
Right.
like a dude basically, but like a colorful dude.
Yeah, he's like a magenta. He's like a magenta.
It's like a magenta,
dude.
but basically human size and shape.
Yeah.
It looks really exciting. Like, it looks like it's going to be great. Like, I like that I simplified it down. It looks really exciting. I'm stoked for next week.
It does. Agree.
Davey Elmer, the guy who knows more than us and should just be on this show, apparently, he said, yes, it is Parasite.
It is Parasite.
And
okay.
Siva Ram, you've come up with both great couple names. She's got the hashtag Kina, and she did or Siva, sorry, male or female, I'm not really sure. But you came up with the Aggie as well, so really
Bravo.
awesome there.
Nice. Excellent. Cool. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's AfterBuzz TV after show for Supergirl. So, in between this week and next week, let everyone know where they can find you. Let's start with Lacretia.
Hey guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one, and all over the DC universe with these guys here.
Nice. Lex Michael.
I am all over social media at the Lex Michael. I'm also on a ton of shows here at AfterBuzz. If you're a fan of DC on the CW on ABTV, I'm here on Supergirl. I'm on Arrow on Wednesdays, Legends of Tomorrow on Thursdays with Lacretia. We also do Comic Book Exchange on Book Circle Online, and Ash vs. Evil Dead Sunday nights on AfterBuzz. So many wonderful places to come nerd out with us. We hope you do, because we love you. Mwah.
Wow. and
you-
Stephanie Wenger.
And you can find me on all over online at Stephanie Wenger, keeping it easy for you guys.
Nice. And you can find me at Tauri J. It's TARIJAY. You can also find me on the ABTV CWDC slate. All of the letters. This, Flash, and Arrow. And coming around the 20th of this month, not DC related, but The Librarians is coming back, and so too shall I. So, thanks again for joining us, and we hope you have a super week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.